Hi everyone, my name is Rosella Kim, and I'll be sharing about my research, Emotional Connection as the New Brand Equity. My research examines one central question: how can wellness hospitality redefine beauty retail into environments that foster emotional connection and lasting brand loyalty? Then, from this, three sub questions guide the research. First, how are beauty brands currently using wellness to build community beyond the point of sale? And second, what effect does wellness hospitality have on trust, satisfaction, and continued engagement? And third, how can beauty brands design immersive experiences that are activated through community rather than the typical one to one service based model? The market research proves the significance of this study that it's not just a trend, but a cultural shift. There's a shift of integrating food and drinks as store strategy, as well as the transition of the consumer's priorities and behaviors as well. In the recent years, purpose has become a defining priority across hospitality. Consumers now define luxury by how it feels rather than how it looks. They're seeking meaning, care, and embodiment, not to be simply sold to. Luxury is increasingly pursued through lifestyle and wellness rather than goods, and as industry, we need to adapt to that. However, even with this cultural shift, the beauty retail continues to fall behind in three critical areas. Many luxury houses are expanding into fragrance or skincare, but these extensions remain product driven and rarely translate the brand's philosophy into a lived experience. At the store level, many activations are predictable: product launches, in store events, and influencer appearances. They generate attention, but not depth and purpose. They lack the cultural weight, storytelling rigor, and multisensory immersion that have made fashion's hospitality ventures like cafes, restaurants, and experiential spaces so influential. And from identifying these pain points, the disconnect reveals a fundamental gap in the beauty industry. Beauty brands speak the language of wellness, but rarely activate it in ways that consumers can feel. The result is a shallow engagement and short lived loyalty. So, here the study argues for a new paradigm where retail evolves into purpose driven hospitality, where rituals, taste, atmosphere, and care become the core mediums of brand storytelling. This research will be using a mixed methods approach. First is a comparative case study of Aesop, Goop, and Dr. Barbara Strum, three brands that represent different wellness modalities: sensory minimalism, lifestyle ritual, and science backed care. Their retail spaces, customer journeys, and experiential strategies will be analyzed to identify what currently works, what fails, and why emotional connection is so critical in building consumer journeys. This analysis will be extended through digital ethnography on TikTok and Instagram. Beauty communities now behave like micro hospitality ecosystems through get ready with me rituals, sensory driven language such as Aesop feels like a reset, and peer to peer recognition through duets, reposts, and comments. And these social engagements reveal the emotional triggers that make digital spaces so compelling and offer insight into how these principles can be further translated into physical retail environments. The second method I'm very excited about is practice based research, a wellness driven culinary pop up created in partnership with a beauty brand. This pop up will function as a controlled environment where beauty storytelling is merged with multisensory hospitality. Ingredient inspired menus, communal rituals, and atmospheric design will be used to test how sensory immersion and collective experience shape emotional engagement. And here, participants will complete pre and post experience surveys measuring perceived care, emotional resonance, sense of community, and intent to revisit or repurchase. Observational data, including dwell time, interaction patterns, and comfort cues, will provide behavioral evidence that brands typically cannot disclose. And the final method will be an industry interview conducted one to one through a 20-minute Zoom. And these interviews will ensure that the final framework reflects real operational constraints and identifies true market white space. Altogether, my research positions wellness driven hospitality as an intervention for the stagnation in beauty retail. By centering community as cultural currency, it proposes an actionable framework that links authentic brand storytelling to long term consumer loyalty that is achieved not through product but through collective well being and emotionally resonant experience. Thank you.